What if I told you that the camera I'm shooting on right now, the one currently disrupting Hollywood sets and solo creator studios alike, is actually a mistake? At least that's what the critics called it when it was first announced in 2022. They said it was just a stripped down FX3. They said the APS-C sensor was dead. They were wrong. And today, we're diving into the secret history of the Sony FX30. We're looking at how it evolved from a high-end cinema beast into the most powerful tool of the everyman filmmaker. I'm going to give you 3 pillars of its heritage, 5 reasons the pros actually use it, and stick around because I'm going to give you 4 value cheats, specific settings that will take your footage from home movie to Netflix original instantly. And I came from the A6600, A6400, so this was a much heavier camera, and I thought, you know what, this is perfect for the type of shooting that I do, and it's one of the only cameras that you can get that has, for under $2,000 in the cinema line. So for me, it just worked perfect. So a lot of creators like myself, creators on a budget, this camera is going to get you farther than waiting for other cameras, more expensive gear, rigs. Get a Sony FX30. They really are a great cinema camera. Now, before we get into the bloodline of this machine, I have to address the elephant in the room. Handheld movement. The FX30 is small, which is a blessing and a curse. If you don't know how to move your body, your footage will look jittery and cheap. That's why I just launched my Sony FX30 Handheld Mastery course. I've spent months perfecting the mechanics of the specific body, how to use the IBIS, how to rig it for weight, how to walk so your footage looks like it's on a $10,000 Steadicam. And right now, the course is priced lower than the cost of going out to eat one time. One dinner versus a lifetime of better footage. The link is in the description below. In fact, here's a free tip from the course right now. Don't just hold the side handle or the top handle when you grip the camera. This is in the course. It's called the 5-point contact system, but let me show you the quick 3-point system right now so you'll get steadier footage and you can try this out as soon as you got your FX30 with you. You want to have a side handle, top handle, and then rest this bar or the camera against your chest. So in this case, I'm going to put this bar end piece right here under my shoulder. I have my right hand on the top handle, and then my left hand is going to be holding this handle on this side. So when you look at this, you get a much steadier, fluid movement this way, and then you can walk heel to toe, and that's going to smooth out your footage a lot. So try that out. If you want to check out more, it's in the link in the description below. In order to understand the FX30, we first have to understand the Sony Venice. Sony didn't just wake up and decide to make a cheap camera. They took the color science and the UI from their $50,000 flagship Hollywood cameras and trickled it down. As Philip Bloom, the legendary DP, put it, the FX30 is essentially an FX3 but with a Super 35 sensor. It's a very capable camera that gives you that cinema line aesthetic and handling at a fraction of the cost. This camera wasn't an upgrade to the A6000 series. It was a downsizing of the cinema line. It brought tally lights, mounting points, and the internal fan to the masses. And because it has that cinema brain, it has a tool most of you aren't using, the focus map. So what you do is you go into your focus settings and turn on focus map under the focus assistant. So what you'll see here on the screen is you've got a range of different colors. Anything in blue is behind your subject and anything red is in front. When the colors disappear from your subject's face, you're in perfect focus. It's better than peaking because it shows you the depth, not just the contrast. So as you can see here, everything that's in blue is behind and everything that's in red is in front of the subject. So you can see I got the camera there, I'm putting my hand up, my hand is closer to the camera so it's red. The background behind me, if I take my hand away, you can see is blue. So, and then you can see I got my eye assist on, so it's tracking my eye and it's tracking my face, and therefore my face has no color on it because it's in focus. Now, I will give you the one downside of this to look out for. If you're not used to this, sometimes these colors are kind of annoying because they're in the way of seeing the rest of the detail in the frame. So what I do is I set up the frame first the way I want it, and then at the end, like if I'm trying to track something, or if I'm, like out running gun shooting, I turn the focus map on at the end, and I have a quick button for that, like a quick key, so I can turn it on and off. And that's really the best way to use it. That's the best way I've found to use it. One thing that I love about the Sony FX30 is the fact that they decided to keep the internal fan in there. So this was a huge problem with other Sony cameras that I had, the overheating, you're out in the heat. Right now, I'm in a paper warehouse and it's in the state of Florida, 80 degrees. It's hot out here. If you ever get caught where you have to do a situation like this, overheating becomes a real problem. So one of the coolest things, Sony internal fan, no more overheating, stays nice and cool. It's one of my favorite features. For a decade, and still today, I see a lot of people that are just obsessed with full frame or bust. But Sony looked at the history of the Cinema Super 35 and realized that most of the greatest movies ever made were shot on a sensor size that was nearly identical to the FX30. Caleb Pike from DSLR Video Shooter said it best. For most people, the Super 35 sensor is actually an advantage because of the lens selection and depth of field control. By using APS-C sensors, Sony made the camera faster, cooler, and allowed us to use a more affordable, legendary type of glass. But to get that pro look, you have to stop using flexible ISO and learn how to use Cine EI mode. Now, flexible ISO is great in certain situations, but for a truly professional look, to get that just dark and moody tone, you want to learn how to use Cine EI mode. So first we switch over to Cine EI. I've got a lot of other videos that I talk about this. And, basically it locks your sensor into its two cleanest ISO states, either ISO 800 for brighter scenes or ISO 2500 for low light. Now, there's a secret to this. Don't touch the ISO wheel to change the brightness. Use ND filters. This is going to give you a cleaner, more noise-free and professional look in the edit. And finally, point number 3, the brains. Now, historically, cinema meant manual. So if you weren't pulling focus by hand, you weren't a pro. The FX30 changed that history. It integrated the world's best autofocus into a dedicated cinema body. Gerald Dundon has said this: Sony has finally made a Super 35 camera that doesn't feel like a compromise. It's a powerhouse for solo shooters who need the reliability above all else. It's about the solo operator, the person who has to be the director, the DP, and the sound guy all at once. As we look at the legacy of this camera, we gotta listen to Mark Bone, who's an award-winning doc director. He said, "I truly feel comfortable calling the FX30 a true cinema camera. The versatility allows it to be placed on any film set for any type of job." I got one more for you. Jesse Driftwood talks about the stabilization. He said, "The footage is rock solid. We were literally just holding the camera in both hands with no extra gear." The FX30's strengths aren't just on a spec sheet. It's a 10-bit 422 internal color. It's got a full-size HDMI port, and it's the fact that it's a tool that gets out of your way and lets you create. The Sony FX30 isn't just a camera, it's a milestone. It's the moment high-end filmmaking became accessible to everyone. If you've been waiting for a sign to start your filmmaking journey, this is it. If this deep dive into the history of and the how-to of the Sony FX30 helped you, do me a massive favor. Hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel more than you know. And if you want to master the handheld look, check out the link for my masterclass below. Get out there, stop worrying about the gear, and go shoot something great. I'll see you in the next one.